beledi forever. Kamsana nina kishakilu ashana kuruju lewa kami generation. Kamsana nina kinadilu ashana kuruju lewa kami generation. Bikaniwe bibedi, bikaniwe bibeledi, bikaniwe bibedi, bikaniwe bibeledi. Keni bibedi forever, keni bibeledi forever. Yaude anina zaman ke hakiro, anina zaman ke sitimu. Kali kafir, maindura buna, dabur kamis, anyanya wasaka malesh. Yauda lela, nina ligo uriatana, yala wasa, 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 wasa nida kede, wasa, 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 wasa sika kede, wasa, 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 wasa nida kede, wasa, 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 wasa sika kede, wasa sika uriaja, wasa sika freedom ja. Bikaniwe bibedi, bikaniwe bibeledi, bikaniwe bibedi, bikaniwe bibeledi. Keni bibedi forever, keni bibeledi forever. Yeah. Kamsana nina kishakilu ashana kuruju lewa kami generation. Kamsana nina kinadilu ashana kuruju lewa kami generation. Bikaniwe bibedi, bikaniwe bibeledi, bikaniwe bibedi, bikaniwe bibeledi. Keni bibedi forever, keni bibeledi forever. Yaude anina zaman ki hakiro, anina zaman ki sitimu. Kali kafir, maindura buna, dabur kamis, anyanya wasaka malesh. Yaude lela, nina ligo uriatana, yala wasa, 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 wasa kida kede, wasa, 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 wasa sika kede, wasa, 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 wasa kida kede.
South Sudan, oye! Shabda Juba Kulu, oye! Salam alaikum kulakum, Shabdana. I would like to begin by thanking you all, whether members of my government, members of Central Equatoria government, and all the invited guests for coming out, while being youth, being women, business community, religious leaders, chiefs and civil society organizations, artists, trade unions, and entire population of Juba for turning up in these large numbers in support and in solidarity with my government. I thank you very much and I appreciate your all efforts. My fellow South Sudanese, on the 9th of July 2011, we celebrated the birth of the Republic of South Sudan in this square, and we closed the dark chapter of our struggle, where we lost millions of people. Our liberation demanded a lot from all of us. There were those who left to go and fight. They never returned home. There are those who have been wounded in the battlefields, and they are now with us, deformed for good. There were those also who were then supported the liberation struggle, and they donated whatever they could get. We have so many widows, we have many orphans. These are all the effects of war. I want to ask all of you to stand up so that we honor the souls of those whom we lost during the long struggle. Thank you. Sit down. My dear compatriots, it is the memory of the losses endured by our nation and every South Sudanese family during the struggle that has strengthened my resolve to defend and protect the gains of our liberation struggle. For the same reason, I accepted to negotiate peace with those who took up arms against the state under the auspices of the IGAD and intra-party dialogue. I mean that ana achan salam ana gibiltu enu anzil من مكان بتاعي كرئيس لدولة جنوب السودان عشان نمشي نتكلم مع ناس اللي أخذوا سلاح عشان يحاربوا دولة وما في رئيس بيتكلم مع rebels. Negotiations are done by the negotiators. But because I want peace to come quickly to South Sudan, أنا مشيت عشان أتكلم مع ريك مشار. ريك مشار لما شاف إنه أنا بقيت أمشي له قال إنه we are equal. That we are equal in a way that he is also recognized as the head of the state. And this is why he became so intransigent. IGAD countries have tried their best. We've taken kalam da masha hassa aktar min sana nanu garin kalam. Bardu fi regional leaders, African leaders, Rais bitat Tanzania, وهو رئيس بتاع حزب بتاعهم اسمه شامشا مفندوسي, together with ANC. الناس بتاعنا بتاع ANC إنما يقول لهم ده ANC بتاع South Africa. These two parties having the background of emerging through armed struggle, they wanted to help us to put our party back as it was fighting for the people of South Sudan. This resulted into the Arusha agreement يوم 21 شهر واحد والكان كم المهم we signed that that agreement for the reunification of the SPLM. Ulamanana jit fi Juba hina, ana talatu qararat. Litanfiz bunud bidada liitafagia. Kalam Dave Teker was, in good spirit that, we want peace. Not because of anything. So, lakay dasa bad kulana mosu wana adetu general amnesty to all those who are carrying arms against the state, and so that they come back to the country. If they are outside, if they are in the bushes of South Sudan, they should come back. Lakay dasa, they are not accepting the olive branch that I have given to them. Kalamda, if they have offered, they think that they prefer to fight for their victory, I think there is nothing that we have been doing in South Sudan except war. We know war, how it is. But if it is imposed on us, we will also fight back. Jana kan sunun bitaw tala. Ita ma da jarabo can da ku suba bata fi yadu fi kashamu. Ba habi. Iftakar sunun bitana raba kwez. Nanu bina hadi zo laman nakta yad bitaw da. Fadakulu have not yielded in peace. Our people are still suffering. And if Dr. Yek had accepted what we have been supposed to do, I think min yom khamsa shahr talata da kan mafruḍ inu nawaka ala salam, to free our people so that we reward them with peace. Al-hasal inu yom khamsa was imposed on us. Makan yom barnamij bita salam enu namul de yom kada bukra namul kada lakan manaji yom khamsa would have done everything so that we will sign the peace agreement. It was not. It was just something mechanical, as if we were going to play a football match. A football match is time 45 minutes, first half. 45 minutes, second half. That is 90 minutes. Sa nus itkum bakun lab to al-match batakum. But this was peace to stop war. You cannot time, but we tried. Loman Mashena and Dr. Martin mentioned it before, that when I left Manhini Yom Wahid Shahr Talata, people were having a lot of hopes, or some people had a mixed feeling. Some people were saying that, I will be forced to sign a bad agreement. And then when I come back with that bad agreement, problems will erupt up in South Sudan. But the other side of the coin, which they did not see, was that the struggle that people were in. I was one of those people who were fighting. And I know what a bad peace agreement means. It is not me who will sign it. It will be signed by somebody we would want everything to be done quickly. Solomon Machena ma Khuyriek wa governor fi Hajat mafrud ma nagi fogo wa governor fi structure of the government. The structure of the government, as you all know, min shar tamania sana al-fat, we have been struggling to fix what would be the government, transitional government of national unity. And based on what Riek Machar was claiming, he wanted to be a prime minister. Fananu gibilna al-kalam de ana gibiltu ugulna kalas kele Riek Machar yakun prime minister wa yakun endu 3 deputies, 1 deputy from his camp, the other deputy from the other political parties, and the third from the SPLM. And then there will be a vice president who will be ahead of Riek Machar. Riek Machar will be number 3 in hierarchy. And then after the deputy prime ministers comes the council of ministers. Kalamde Nas Gale, what are the powers with Riek Machar if he is the prime minister? The prime minister of Ethiopia and the prime minister of Uganda and president of Kenya came to Juba here for this reason. And I asked them that, I don't know whether Riek Machar would want to be an executive prime minister or a non-executive prime minister. Lo Prime Minister Al-Adi, where there is an executive president, there will be no executive prime minister. We all agreed. And a good, okay, then let us look into the best practices. Uganda, Endu Prime Minister, who is not an executive prime minister. Tanzania, Endu. Dualtane, Endu. Let us make a research. Nashuba Shokol Betanazel, Shunu. Lomandjina, who among functions with Riek Machar as a prime minister, Uchafu Unatafok Galmaderu. Yegasam Gal Yegasamulena powers with a president, I should be given. That thing did not work. There is no country with 2 presidents. And this is what some people want to impose. To impose that, powers of the president have to be given to Riek Machar. Riek Machar is determined that Mafi Zoltane Yakun Beni Ubenu. He must be number 2 to me. So that when I go for Mamuriat Betayal Katira Nabamshi Fogda, he remains acting. If I die, then he succeeds Sawali. He becomes the president. Ulo amuru sabta will enu yakun mirtalata, that means somebody number 2 will be taken should anything happen to me. Well, Almuda Deputy Rabuna. Ma fi zol bagul enu fulani ya muda chanenu namsuk mahal betao da. rubama ita ya ta mut filawal. Now, لما مشينا في الكلام الأخير ده لقيته ريق مشار جدا كلام بتاع برايم مينستر بعيد وقال he must become the first vice president. ده يا مالنا وقفنا فوقه. أنا قلت يا ريق what happened in 2002 should not repeat itself again. And Agudolo, when you came back after fighting us for 11 years, side by side with the Sudan government, you came back when you have already signed your surrender agreement with Sudan, Khartoum peace agreement. Where on earth do you go and negotiate peace with the oppressor in his house? Is that do you call it an agreement or a surrender? And Agudolo, when you came back, Wani was then displaced and you were put on his chair. You became number 3. And where God took John Garang, you became number 2. That was the first unfortunate situation of Wani. Okay, now this time, you rebelled again. You wanted to repeat what you did in 1991. Because you want to be a president by all means. And you are in a hurry. Now, if you have not succeeded, يوم 15 شهر 12 بالليل ولغاية يوم 17 إذا ما قدرت عشان تمسك الكرسي بتاع الرئاسة بالقوة بتاع الجيش إذا ما قدرت عشان كده إنت جريت في الغابة قلبت الانقلاب لarmed struggle. Now, if you are coming back, you will not be appeased by giving you the position of James Wani, who remained loyal to the SPLM, SPLA. 1991. And he remained loyal until when we came to the agreement 2005. Again, he remained loyal. Now that God gave him his right position to become number 2 in the country, I will not do it myself to throw him away and bring you. I will not do that. Yes, there were people standing with Riek Machar. Bugule Adi Riek Machar, first vice president, so that his people who were killed in Juba are compensated and peace will come. Ana Gutulo Menu, if it is a matter of compensation of the people who have died, let Riek Machar tell you how many Dinkas did he slaughter in Bor 1991. And what did we give to the people of Bor to compensate their people? What did we give to the people who died in all the states? I don't agree with whatever suggestion that Riek be given the position of the first vice president. I refuse. When people insisted أنا قلت لهم كلام بسيط بس قلت لهم يا جماعة إنت ما تحل المشكلة بخلق مشكلة تاني جديد. You want to solve the problem of Riek Machar by appeasing him at the expense of Equatorians. What if Equatorians take their guns and they rise against the government? What will you give them? I don't want. Equatorians have been patient, have been quiet. They did not do anything all this time. Now we ran into a deadlock. And then the threats of sanctions were being waved in my eyes. They have a very funny language that they say, girl, there are people hanging up there with a stick. Ana gutolom yaki stick da. Kle dugu fiya ye heta dare dugu. Dare dug ras, kle dug ras. Dare dug wen, kle dug. And I cannot be threatened by kalam. In that way, I came to you without peace. Lumana rajatu, majib to salam. Kalamatani, Riek Machar Galder, Jeshen. Ekun endu jesh, we ekun al jej alendu nada, ekun jej barao. Aragutolo, what is the purpose? Ita der jej le shunu, shatamul be shunu. نحن في سنة 2005 لمن طالبنا بجيش في جنوب السودان we wanted to defend the CPA عشان مؤتمر وطني ما يستخدم الميليشيات عشان يخربوا. And you know how many times did we fight in Malakal with the militias who were backed by the government of Sudan. I said, if you have a hidden agenda, please tell us. Are you demanding any secession? Gal Mafi, Anagulu Taib, I don't accept the issue of two armies. Gal for their protection. This is why they need the army to protect them. And we know how do they protect you? That you know you come to Juba with your army, then we will fight tomorrow. The Kuj fil Misa Ubukra in Iran Walla. Because you know what is the mechanism? Al-Bamshi Bihafaz al-Jayshen. We did not agree there also. Mediators Galenu Yakun fi two separate armies in 3 months pre-transitional period. Gal Jej Yakun ma Jej Butaw, we Yakun commander in chief in Ak. But Talata Shuhur, his army is to be amalgamated with your army. Ana Gudromi Aki Kilma amalgamation. That means you do it to equal forces. Tajib Fasila Menhina, Tajib Fasila Menhina, the Lakbatum, Lakan Matakon, Syria. Utamu chamchi gidam lakad matakonu katiba. Riek wants to know the size of my army. Lomanyaru vel jej butai kam yemchi yamu recruitment. Ashan kamane kunandu jej. Ugalenu, I will be the one paying these armies. Anagulu no. لما نكون ماسكين جيش بتاعنا في جنوب هنا ده. It was not President Bashir who was paying for them. We were meeting our own expenses لجيش بتاعنا. Number 3 بتوعه قالوا إنه عنده expenditures بتوعه هو اللي لقاه في غابة هنا ده, and they have to be paid by the government. أنا قلت لهم في واحد من المediators ده مندوب بتاع الخرطوم, and was an active army general when we were fighting. So he was fighting with us in Juba here, in Upper Nile, in the Nuba Mountains, wherever he has fought with us. I said, you ask this man. Lomanenu Wagabna al-Harb Maum. Did we ask President Bashir to pay for our expenses that we incurred during the struggle? Ugalla. Ana gulu Dr. Yek jibna kam da baba during the war. Ukam rifles, ukam silah. Did we ask the government to pay for them? He said no. I said, then where did you get this strategy that I should pay for your guns that you have used to kill the people of South Sudan with? Am I the one to buy them for you? Ma fizol job ni. Ana good okay. Expenditures betak, they hajat betak. You handle them. Gale dola de betana kulana. Ana good to yes. De betana kulana until when you put down your gun and we come in, we make the agreement. Yes, you will talk of being a citizen of South Sudan who deserve anything from the South. The next issue, which was very difficult also, was power sharing. Huwa galenu the assembly, the National Assembly, Yehelu must be dissolved. Ubadak yakonu equally. And Nas Al-Khan Mafi, gal Finas who are not represented, but then Finas who are in the parliament, Umarufin Shokol Betom Zatu Shunu, Marufin Shokol Yamul Shunu fi parliament. Follow few members with the parliament guiding my hinada, Yarib al Kalam de Kalam Betom. Loirkum guiding fi Barlaman Saki, Bastam Sukruj Betakum Mutam Shibet. That was not your mission. Fariyag Machar Gala Nazeda Yatalaum Bara. We Jibunas Kwesin Menbara. Ana Gutalo Yahui. These people were elected. If they were elected by their constituencies, whether Sajmanin or Lama Sajmanin, none of us is qualified to dismiss them. For that thing, we do not agree. For Galenu, mediators Galena, any parliament cannot be dissolved. Lekin زيد العدد بتاع البرلمان في 332 عضو في برلمان القومي. قال you have to add 68 عشان يكون 400. And these 68 have to be divided among the parties so that there is balancing. I accepted that we will have to increase عضوية بتاعت برلمان بتاعنا ل 400 ولغاية ما يجي elections. The constitution, the new constitution would have now been written, and the number that will be taken for the parliament will be agreed upon. رياض مشار بقولوا داير 250 من حسا ف ما نجح في مال ده خليناه no agreement there. جينا في institutions of the government, the governance, في وزارات بقول داير انه يشيلوه like the Ministry of Planning قال ده يشيلوه ويعملوا حاجة يسموه High Council for Planning يكون تحت المكتب بتاع رئيس الجمهورية. I refused. I said this ministry is important, let it be there, and it is according to us later on to agree whether to keep it as a ministry or change it into the High Council, as you suggest. That thing also became a problem, but we did not agree. What Yeg wants always is to talk about the change, that who forced the government to change this. Bugule, what is my takeaway now? What do I take home? Something to take home is about federalism. Federalism, if I'm not mistaken, Lomaria can't be Barlaman here. And when people from Equatoria raised the issue of federalism, that they want federalism, who was the first to react? Was it not Riek Machar? Alaba gal federalism de Madarino. Lekin bad ma marat uliga machakal biga katir fi ragabtu, he thought about Equatorians to support him in the rebellion. This is why he brought this federation. That was not the reason for his rebellion. We did not also agree there. And good law federalism there has been demanded by Southerners since 1947. They did not get it, but the system we are in is almost a federal system. Although we don't call ourselves a federal Republic of South Sudan. But if that is the demand of the people, let us take it back to the people. It is not between me and you, Riek Machar. Let us take it back to the people and let people even they want to make a referendum on the issue of federation, then they will tell us what sort of federalism that do they want. And so that we can continue. So this became really the obstacle to peace. You know that other political parties can end representation on the talks. Civil society, women, all these stakeholders were there, including the former detainees who call themselves historical SPLM leaders. These people were in the talks, We always think that lo fi salam fi Juba Sudan bukun bitana kulana. For it is not SPLM, Mariek Machar, that can negotiate alone. Other parties can join in. Some people in the negotiations decided to bar out the political parties because the person or the persons of their choice were not allowed to go to Addis Ababa. Ashan gada gafala nazel barakulu. We said, okay, let them do it if they will win the confidence of the people of South Sudan through those people they want to be represented. Kalam de ma hasel. And then Riek Machar Bardu Mader, the former detainees, Lanu, when they were under detention here, Riek Amol is Ay Katir, Eno Denas Batai, and if they were to be released, they will be the speakers, they will be the negotiators. Pagan will lead his team of negotiations, and Munu, Kulu, they are Kan Kalamutau. So the IGAD leaders put pressure on me to release these people. Ana Gudruma Jama, you are violating our constitution. Hey, we want peace to come to your country. Now, did they bring peace? I released the people. And they were taken, instead being treated as criminals, they were received with the red carpets wherever they go. And then they talked rubbish. Hatta Kalambata, they know you and there, Yamul sanctions on South Sudan, it came out from them. Hatta Kalambo Gulu in South Sudan, Yakun trusteeship to the UN for 10 years. It is also from them. And they want the UN to take over South Sudan for 10 years and then elections to be conducted by the UN. Any party that will win the elections then have to be handed over power. Do you know what will happen this time when some people, foreigners, will rule the country for 10 years? What will you get when 10 years is over? Mabukun Mikela Betana Kulu the resources. Are you sure that you will get the resources there? And this is why I'm saying that this flag will never be brought down by anybody. Lanu, flag that was not raised for circuit. It was raised bedam betad shuhada betana kolo. Here is the reason. Kalambata wealth sharing also we disagreed with wealth sharing. No, how do we share wealth? Wealth sharing and power sharing. Ana kalam tule yaki. How do you, as minority as you are, talk about power sharing with the whole nation? If you are representing Nuer as a tribe, Kam Gabila, Alma Maak, how can you share wealth 50-50? He takes 50% and the government takes 50%. Achani wadi hajar elwen. We did not agree. For Kalam de Kulu was not easy. It was not easy, but we stood our ground. That we should not be pushed into something that we are not sure of. Uh, my compatriots, in the way forward, I would also like to emphasize that when we set out to liberate this country, we were fighting for a better South Sudan. And I believe this is still our ultimate goal. Liberation, as we know it, is not a single event, nor does it stop at independence. Each milestone we reach allows us to do more and to confront other challenges, overcome them, and take us closer to our goals. I therefore would like you to see the challenges this country has been going through since December 15th, 2013, as challenges of transition that together we will overcome. I don't want anybody to be discouraged because of the situation we have experienced من شهر ديسمبر 2013 ولغاية الآن. People should not be discouraged. And I should thank you, people of South Sudan, for your patience. That I know you have been very patient for that. And I am therefore calling upon all of you, political parties, faith-based organizations, civil society organizations, artists, business community, farmers, youth, women and chiefs, not to despair, but to join me and my government in the efforts to unify the internal front through national dialogue, forgiveness, reconciliation, and building consensus on a development path that will lead to harmony, political stability, and an economy that allows all of us to prosper. El kalam da kulu madare no kulu waidem shibrao. But therefore I also call upon the SPLM General Secretariat to support the SPLM leadership to lead this process. As for the community dialogue, reconciliation and harmony among our people, the faith-based groups have always taken the lead. My special message to you, religious leaders, is that our people need to be embraced, need to embrace a culture of tolerance, peaceful coexistence, and hard work so that they can be at peace with themselves and their neighbors. طبعا يا ويننا مشاكل بتاعت wrestlings أنا سميته قبل governor كان بيتكلم فوقه. But we don't need all these things to continue. We suffered unnecessary losses for no reason. Well, I want to cut my remarks short. I want all of you to know that even if we were to sign peace today, the economic conditions in our country would not improve automatically because it will take some time to reach the level of oil production before the war. And the oil prices are likely to remain low for some time, as the supply of oil in the world is high and demand is low. This leaves us with few options for addressing this economic hardship. We need to look to what we can do by ourselves. And this tells us that let us make use of our land. Rabuna Dani Wata Kabir, very fertile land. If people are talking about sanctions against South Sudan, unless they go up and agree with God to stop raining in South Sudan, that means it will be a real sanction. But as long as there will be rain in South Sudan, we can make use of that land. And we can grow what we can eat there, forgetting about anything to be brought from any other country. Last year I promised that I will bring tractors. It did not materialize. But now as we speak here, these tractors are just here near the river. 1,000 of them. You think that if these 1,000 are properly managed and used in the agricultural schemes, can they not produce for South Sudan? And can we not again bring just the same number again or more so that we embark on agriculture? These are things that we can do by ourselves. My message to all of you, people of South Sudan, is that we need to stand together. I know the hardships are biting, but we tell the Ministry of Finance to double all the efforts in mobilizing non-oil revenues and use wisely such that revenues for making our economy to function, particularly investment in agriculture and facilitating credit to the private sector firms who are interested in agriculture. The issue of non-oil revenues has been a problem. Whenever we try to improve the collection, it goes worse every now and then. And people must be very frank to themselves. Hatta lomanenu najanat fil bolis, lomani kharajum, had betom wala had betom, they always come and they ask for their sons or their daughters to be put into the immigration and customs. They are kutuminak fi customs. Why do they want them to be in the customs? Well, immigration. The mahal bita gurush. لو custom officer بيشيل قروج من العربات ويقود في جيبه, then what will be the fate of the country? We must stop this thing. The lecturers in our public universities are on strike. I expected them to understand better than the rest of us the conditions facing our country. This is the time our intellectuals and elites need to show us how we can address the challenges facing our country. And therefore, I call upon our lecturers to call off their strike, as this is hurting our country and affecting our students who are the future leaders of this nation. Let me assure the lecturers that their demands can be only addressed when our country has recovered from the impacts of this war and global economic conditions. I'm also asking the people in the UN camp to return to their homes. الناس القاعدين في معسكرات بتاعت UNMIS, whether here in Juba, in Bor, in Malakal, in Bantu, wherever they are, I want them to come out and go back to their homes. They will be given whatever assistance by relevant authorities so that they can resettle. The same appeal goes to the refugees and IDPs in wherever they are, that they should come back home, and so that we work together. I know that some of them may be very bitter against the people who took up arms against the state, but we should be ready to accept ourselves and forgive one another. This is the only way that we can go forward. So let us be ready to receive all those who are in the UN camps, and even those who are with Riek Machar. If they come back, as you have seen some of them on the radio, on the SSTV, who have been coming and they declare themselves having abandoned what Riek Machar is doing. You have seen General Lul, who was the spokesperson of Riek Machar. He has come with his group, and some others have come, including two brothers of Pagana Amom and his sister Bangod Amom. We welcome them, and then we receive them with all our hearts, and there is no problem. If my brothers who were detained have the same feeling of coming back home, we will also welcome them. All the other rebel forces, wherever they may be, will be received by their counterparts, because I have already ordered the Chief of General Staff of the SPLA, General Paul Malong, to send necessary orders to all the SPLA units to receive whoever comes to join them wherever they are. And then I have an appeal to Riek Machar before you, because peace in this country lies in his and my hands. And let us then work together to bring peace with him. because power is actually meaningless if it kills your people. We should stop fighting and bring peace to our people. To the international community, I want to confirm my government commitment to end the war in South Sudan. I look forward to your continued effort to bring peace to my country, and I am ready to negotiate peace with Riek Machar anywhere and anytime appointed by the IGAD or the AU. But while I very much appreciate the efforts of the international community to bring peace, I am disappointed in the mobilization by some members of the international community to impose sanctions on South Sudan, rather than encouraging peace-building process after failure to meet the deadline of the March 5th this year. My concern is that sanctions at this time will not only devastate the economy, but increase economic pressures on the people of South Sudan, who are already suffering and are desperate. I want to conclude by thanking all of you for coming. Let's reject war and choose harmony, peace, and coexistence. And let's dialogue and agree on how to build our country. Long live the people of South Sudan. Long live the Republic of South Sudan. Long live the spirit of our revolution. South Sudan, oye. Thank you very much.
Shukran, Comrade Salva Kiir Mayadit, the SPLM chairman. Thank you for all of you for having braved this hot sun to listen to the address of the SPLM chairman and the President of the Republic of South Sudan, Comrade Salva Kiir Mayadit. We are happy. We thank you very much for your good attendance, for your patience. Now it is time for us to disperse and go to our places. So we'll allow our President first to move out and then keep to your places. Thank you very much. شكرا للحضور بتاعكم في شمس الحارة. فنحن مبسوطين خالص في حركة شعبية وفي حكومة إنه أنتوا وقفتوا في الشمس دي، لكن ده كان ضروري نسمع من الرئيس بتاعنا، ونحن مشكورين شاكرين للرئيس بتاعنا عشان ورانا with the way forward. هاي ناس يرجعوا مكاتب، ده يوم بتاع شغل، فإلا يمكن ده وقت بتاع غدا وبعدك ترجعوا شغل. فشكرا. entertainment. مانويل كيمبا وينو؟ خلاص؟ مانويل كيمبا
fi beledi forever. Kamsana nina kishakilu ashana kuruju lewa kami generation. Kamsana nina kinadilu ashana kuruju lewa kami generation. Bikaniwe fi bedi, bikaniwe fi beledi, bikaniwe fi bedi, bikaniwe fi beledi, bikani fi bedi forever, bikani fi beledi forever. Yaude anina zaman ke hakiro, anina zaman ke sitimu. Kali kafir maindu rabuna, dabur kamis anyanya wasaka malesh. Yauda lela nina ligo uriatana yala wasa 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 nida kede wasa 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 sika kede wasa 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 nida kede wasa 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 sika kede wasa sika.